everybody. Welcome to the lunchish hour. You guys,
I just want to say, I can't.
well, eight at the table lunchish, right?
We need to change that name because I'm
Well,
not.
no, I mean, I like it. Eight at the table lunchish.
Lunch-ish hour.
Yeah, because we can't commit to saying we're going to be here at noon every day. Although we would love to do that, we carry a lot of different hats. You're talking about, again, the home team, producers, creators, everything for eight at the table. And because we never know when to shut up, we gotta do our own little lunchish hour. Now, we were supposed to be here yesterday, so excuse us for not being here yesterday. We usually do lunches on Tuesday. However, due to some conflicting events, we weren't able to make it. So, but we wanted to make sure we came this week still.
Yeah, because there's a lot happening.
There is always a lot happening. So let's jump right into it. So,
Okay.
by the way, you guys, I feel like we never introduced ourselves. I'm Marie.
And I'm Lonnie. Okay, somebody was like,
Confused.
if Lonnie is the one with the headband,
And
I want her something like that.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm Lonnie. Marie had the headband.
Oh, okay. So I'm Marie. This is Lonnie. We got Alan in the cut.
What up, y'all?
And we're just going to get into it. So Alan and I were having an interesting conversation. By the way, Alan and I are always debating because we have different opinions about stuff. So we were debating and we were talking about body count, Lonnie.
Yeah.
So the thing that Alan was saying, but I think it is actually interesting. So I kind of understood it a little bit. Alan was basically saying when a girl has a high body count, it's not that the guy is maybe looking down on her because she's, has a high body count. It's that she's very accessible to people. So now if he takes her and wifes her, right, and puts his trust in her and everything, she still carries that characteristic of being an accessible woman. That means like anybody could have got to you. So let's say you're a woman and you went out there and you probably, I don't know what a high body count is today.
Anything over 25 and you're under 35.
Okay. So, whatever. So let's say it's that. And
Okay.
So basically can you really trust a woman with a high body count because she's so accessible? Like, do you think a woman with a high body count is accessible?
I think it depends on the circumstances.
What do you mean?
And I think that men would also be like, if she had 25 millionaires, I think they would have a different perspective of her body count.
Agreed.
Really? I don't.
Yeah.
Really?
Alan agrees.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's the whole conversation. The conversation is like men are supposed to work for sex.
Okay.
And women are supposed to make men work for sex. So that's why when a man has a high body count, it's looked at, dang, you got a high body count. How'd you hit all these girls? And it's praised.
Praised
when
by
a woman,
who?
it's praised by other men.
Okay.
And respected by some women, not all.
Yeah, definitely.
But when a woman has a high body count, the first thing everybody's like, damn, you that easy. It's like, you understand what I'm saying? It's almost like you got a 400 credit score. You understand? Like, and you
not when they owe millionaires.
No. When they're millionaires, it's different. But it's almost like you got
800.
So it matters to you the quality of men. Is that what you're saying?
It's not the quality. It's like
confused.
If 25 millionaires hit, then you like either you're an escort or then you have something these high value people want.
But we have to see like what men's perspective, and this is where like this is a situation with body count because men, it all depends who it is. Because I think that if your body count is, because Alan, let's keep the number 25 because that's what Alan says, right?
25.
If your body count is 25 men that a certain man respects, then it's not a problem. But if it's 25 bums, then I have an issue with that.
No, I don't think that's true. You know why?
But Alan just said
that.
that.
I know he said that, but I don't believe that because, they stay coming for Lori Harvey and she dates all these, quote unquote high value celebrity men, right? But they still constantly come for her. So I don't think it's a matter of that you dated 30, 40, 25 millionaires and you slept with 25 millionaires. I think it's the amount of men that you slept with. and for clarity's sake, right? You said that when people are talking about body counts, they're talking about specifically penetration. Because that's
Well,
what you read.
according to this, what is it called? This thing here, this article, it says that when you talk about body count, it's strictly penetration.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with anything. It says, simply put, body count is the number of people you have sex with.
Okay.
And it does not matter how intimate the makeout was, how much stuff you have done with someone. If there hasn't been penetration, it does
doesn't
not count as sex in this context.
Does that also mean booty hole?
So you could run around.
Booty hole is penetration.
Okay, so okay.
Unless you're just licking it.
I don't know.
I'm saying we did have a story where somebody like licking it, and, but
So a woman could run around and gave head to like 30 dudes, and that's not considered high body.
according to, and let me see who it is. According to, okay, it doesn't say.
I mean, it does make sense though that it would be
Yeah.
penetration, right?
I'm saying it's like those girls that do all this stuff, but they're still virgins.
Right.
So is their body count? Do you consider that, Alan? Would that be considered body count?
Yes, it's considered body count because what happens is that this is what we'll give an 8 at the table definition of high body count.
Okay.
Access. If a man had access to your throat
Oh Lord.
and you had 30 men had access to your throat,
Not the throat.
right? If a man had access to your anal and you had 30 men access to your anal,
Anal penetration.
yeah, but throat penetration too.
Ooh, that is penetration.
You know what I'm saying? He's throat pumping you.
Oh wow.
Like, that's
And
so penetration.
and on top of that, if you
throat pumping?
told you tell a guy, oh, I only slept with like 4 or 5 guys, but 30 you had 30, 40 dudes, which we know out of 30, 40, 75% of them are disrespectful.
Oh wow.
So you know what they're doing.
They
What
was
they
doing it
doing?
hard.
What do you mean? They throw pumping you, that squirt everywhere.
Alan could be so crude
graphic.
and just nasty sometimes. It's a lot.
Come on, let's not shame sex.
No, if it's now I get what you're saying. Now I get what you're saying, and I do agree that oral is penetration because you're
Yeah.
penetrating one of the holes.
And especially if he ejaculates in your mouth.
Damn, that's hard. You might get an infection from that. Like a throat
No, but what
infection.
I'm saying is like we're not gonna shame. Look, everybody wants to, like let's
You
say
got 30.
Huh?
You get 30 Siemens going down your throat. You're bound to get a little
No,
infection.
let me tell you, guys. Oh, in all seriousness, I know somebody that got throat cancer from one of them things. One of them. It's not called STD anymore. It's called
STIs?
STIs from an STI.
Oh, yeah, you
that
did
turned
tell me
into
about
something.
that.
So that's a situation. So be careful. Don't be
Careful
thinking
out
like,
here.
oh, just because I'm like giving head, I'm
Yeah.
good. You're not good.
Be careful out there.
And you
guys.
might get an STI. You get everything. Oh my God, throat is very important for me.
Yeah, because you speak.
Yeah.
Okay, Alan, what were you saying?
so what we're not gonna do, right?
It's
I don't wanna
hard.
lie.
It's
All
hard.
right. Well, look. What we're not gonna do, like for example, let's just say somebody gets cheated on, man or woman, it don't matter.
Okay.
And then there's a conversation, and then the person is like, "We just had sex." Like you make it seem like it's nothing. Oh, we just had sex. So let's say forget men or women, right? It doesn't matter who got cheated on,
Okay.
bruh. At the end of the day, the person who had sex, they were getting nasty. They did
Yeah.
some things to each other.
Right.
She might have swallowed you,
Oh.
right? He might have ate her ass.
Ooh.
They
Ooh.
did things.
So
Do you
I'm saying,
understand?
what's the point of cheating if you're not just gonna go hard? It's be
Right?
like a waste.
So
I guess.
if we,
I guess.
Lonnie, if we go back to reality
Yeah.
and we say you do some things during sex, multiply that by 35 partners.
Right.
That's
so,
that come
so
on.
that's what I'm saying.
Mo-
To go back to my point, it doesn't matter about the quality of the people you're having sex with, quote unquote. It's the number of people you're having sex with. This is never going to change. Like maybe it will. I don't know, because we've spoken to like, I think, what are they? Gen Zers, right? And some of them are saying like body count.
Isn't that me?
No.
Oh.
No. We've
Yeah,
spoken
Marie,
to a
let me
few.
know.
No, I'm in it too, Lonnie. We've spoken to a bunch of Gen Zers,
Okay.
and for them, a lot of them were saying body count does not matter to them. Now, I'm wondering, did they just come to terms with the fact that, you know what, women out here are going to sleep with multiple men, and there's nothing I could do about it, and I just gotta accept it.
I think that this is the perception that I have. I don't think that the number of partners matter. I think it's how you carry yourself.
Mm.
If you out here being loose, I have a problem with that, and I will call you a name,
Oh wow.
right? And if you out here being dirty and just nasty with it. But if you have a high body count, that's not my business. I have nothing to do. It just depends how you carry yourself. If you carry yourself better than just looking crazy.
Do you think it's the intention? Because I always said it's the intention.
What do you mean the intention?
Like
Like you think having to, I just want to have a good time.
yeah, like I don't know. I always thought like for me it was like the intent like okay, so you come across women who um might have had a lot of sexual partners and they were looking to fill some kind of void. So they just kept having sex and looking for love in all the wrong places and as they keep doing it they just keep having sex and using their bodies, right? And then you have women who are just really very sexual beings. They enjoy sex. They're safe about it. They're very honest. They're very transparent. They don't make it a shameful secret. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't hide it if somebody asks and if it's appropriate, they don't owe you to tell you, but if you're having an honest conversation, they'll tell you. So I always thought maybe because you said it's the way you carry yourself,
Mhm.
that if it was based on the intention of how the person is viewing sex, if they're viewing it in a healthy way and they're not using it to fill a void.
Yeah, I think that's I'm saying, but then if you're saying to fill a void, isn't there more of a psychological issue with that person
Yeah.
using it? Like, like I don't care about people's body counts, not my business. I
You don't
really
care about men's?
don't care.
No,
I
no,
don't care about I don't care about
but
men's
does
body
it make
count.
does it make the person easily accessible? Like let's look
It
at
could.
it. This new generation, right?
Mhm.
It could.
This new generation, in my opinion, like for example, I was dating in the 90s, right? That was my dating era.
Mhm.
And when we wanted to have sex in my dating era, we went after the hoes. Because we
Right.
knew the hoes were fucking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You knew
Always?
always. The hoes are always fucking.
Scarface
Right?
said he loved loose women.
Most men love loose women.
Scarface of crypto, he said he loved loose women. They be lit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they are, but
most
nobody
men
wifing
like
them.
loose women.
But nobody's gonna wife them. But what I'm saying is like we went to look for the hoes and we knew the hoes was gonna fuck. This is the 90s, early 2000s, right? And you knew hoes.
Mhm.
But
Wait,
today,
did you know them without knowing them? Like
no,
they had
their
that aura?
reputation. They have
Oh,
reputation of being hoes.
like they had an aura of
And
wholeness.
to me, then that's that's the problem for me when you have a reputation. Because there's women out here that have slept with hundreds of men and nobody knows.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
but-
And it's true what they say. You will never know. You could ask me and I'll tell you I slept with one man my whole life.
no, but Lonnie,
Right.
Lonnie,
Mhm.
what I'm trying to say real quick with the new generation is today, this generation, you don't gotta look for the hoes.
What do you
Because
mean?
everybody's
be there?
fucking.
Oh, I see what
So
you're saying.
we all hoes?
No, I'm not saying
No,
the standard has changed.
I'm saying.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Back then, you knew that.
Oh, you had to seek them out.
Yeah, you had to
Now-
seek out for a girl that you could hit the
Okay,
first
so
night. You had to go
basically-
out your way to find it.
Now the
But
liberation has
today
happened.
with women like, yo, I'm cool with it right now. They're with whatever.
Like I'm down.
I think that we always had this, and I'm not gonna say we. It's like women like to have sex too, and I think that was a thing that was hidden before. It was like, men are the ones that like to have sex. Women are just here to satisfy
Procreate.
you, and it's like we're just here to
Carry the babies.
we like to have sex too.
Yeah, I think men knew women like to have sex because men always knew women like to have sex historically. They just didn't think their wives like to have sex.
Oh,
But their
just the other
mistress-
women.
Yeah,
the other women.
They'll
like
do
to
the
have sex.
nasty freaky
Yes.
with the mistress, the escort, whoever it is. But their wife, they put on some kind of angelic pedestal. Like
Yeah,
she
there's
don't enjoy a
Some
good
cultures
slob knob.
that still do that. I had a boyfriend that was like, "Oh, I don't do that. I only do that with the other women."
Right.
I'll be like,
Because
"Dude,
you put
we
you
gonna
you
have to
put
break
the-
up."
Yeah, you gotta get a grip
Yeah.
because like I'm just into it just
as
as
much.
right.
Mhm.
So yeah, historically, you could say that.
Now if I knew this girl, she came to the show and she showed me something. She had a schedule when she slept with dudes. And 1 month in her schedule, she slept with like 6 different guys, right? And I said to myself, damn, how did that work out? Was it like you went to the club? This nigga fucked. I mean, this man slept with
Wait,
you.
she kept a record of
She
the
keeps
people?
a record on her schedule.
Wow.
So it's like you went to the club, you end up, you went to your cousin's house, and then when you was at your cousin's house, his friend was over there, he smashed. You know what I'm saying? Like, then you went to Miami, 2 people smashed while you was down there. You went to a bar and somebody smashed. Like, how accessible are you?
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
Because when I
like
think
nothing?
about accessibility, right? Because when you're thinking about a marriage or a partnership, there's one thing that's important, and that's trust. Trust is key, right? So how can I trust you if you're easily accessible? Because if you're easily accessible, you're easily manipulated. And that's really what it could come down to. You could have the best heart, but a dude who's able to access you by manipulation compromises not only you, but our whole relationship.
To me, it just seemed like that person. Number one, Alan, what reason did she give you?
No, she was just saying, because I was talking to her, and then she was like, nah, I don't care about, body count and everything. I said, most people say that, but it's not true. And then she was like, I'm telling you. Then she showed it to me, and I saw it, and it was a bunch of these dots. She was like, I just keep the dots so I could keep, I guess
Just
she
in
could
case
keep
you got a thing in your throat.
so she could
girl.
keep it. But my whole thing was like, my thing is like, if a man bought a girl a bag, right? And let's say it was a Gucci bag, and he gave it to her, you feel good about that bag. But if a man gave a bag to every girl he met, a Gucci and a Louis bag to every girl he met, he's a trick.
No, I thought you was going to say if he gave her a bag that's been worn by 30 people.
No.
Is that
But
what
I'm
you're
talking
saying?
about, how a man with money, women know men with money, or real men with money are very funny how they spend their money.
Yeah.
You got to be worth something for them to spend money on you. So you respect that man a lot more.
Okay.
But a man with money, he's like, you got a bag, you got a bag, you got a bag.
Right.
Oh, you got a bag. There's no.
You get the pussy. You get the pussy. You get
So
the.
he's
we going
friendly.
to the club.
He's friendly with the money, and she's friendly with the cooch.
To me, that's just a different situation. If you're just out here, you go into Miami, you're having sex with this guy and this guy. That's too much.
Okay.
To me, that's somebody that does not carry themselves well.
But can a man trust a woman with a high body count?
No, because she might have something. You might be burned by the time you leave. That's a different. I don't trust people like that.
Like what?
Like 6, 7 people in 1 month for no reason,
just to do it?
just to do it. It's not.
How about
that's
if it
not
was
somebody-
3 in 1 month?
It depends on the situation.
Look, I don't know. Like, listen.
Because it depends. This is my thing, and we talk about this here all the time. It all depends on like what your situation is,
Right.
Because if you're dating several people and you are that type of person that feels good dating several people and they all know and this is what you do, then that's what you do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people don't believe in monogamy.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe having those type of situations, that's where you're happy because you're able to deal with John because he understands you and you're able to talk to him. Joseph gives you good sex.
Mm-hmm. But you have to be honest and transparent.
So you have to be honest and that's the thing. If that is the type of lifestyle that you want to live,
right,
I think that is okay. But if you're just out here going to California, you just met dude, you having sex with him, you go to Miami, you go have sex with him, Ohio, everywhere you go, it's somebody new, and to the point where you got to write them down in a calendar
to keep track.
It's a situation.
But what I'm saying
You
is
gotta
like,
trace your sex partners.
But from a man's perspective, right? Think about it this way. Like, all right, let's just say a man's dating, he likes her, she likes him. She has a high body count. They never discuss body count, right? But to her, sex is an accessible thing. So because she's with him, she doesn't fuck around. She's kind of just with him. And they've been together for like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months. Let's say now she goes to Ohio. She's on a work trip or whatever in Ohio. They're at the bar. She meets somebody that she considers attractive.
Right.
She thinks that person is attractive. That person is talking real slick. Does her mind trigger like, oh, I'm just gonna fuck? Like it's not a thing because she done fucked so many people.
She's used to it.
She's out of town. She figures she'll fuck tonight, and then when she gets back to him, it's nothing because she doesn't consider. There's no sacred.
So is it like?
There's nothing sacred about her body to her.
So she doesn't value. Okay, so not that she doesn't value herself. Maybe she doesn't value sex. And there are people who don't view sex and value it like it's something that you share with someone, not just anyone. And I think that's what happens.
But can you trust a woman like that?
Like for me, I would say no. Like I would say no, you cannot trust this person because like just imagine this, right? The scenario you give. So now you're in a relationship with girl, you trust her, you there. You guys are having sex without protection, right? Because you're in this relationship. She goes on the business trip. She has one too many and she gets loosey-goosey, right? And then she ends up having sex with another person. Now, she's not coming back to tell you the truth. Now, she's coming home. There's a chance you may get an STI or STD. Like, that's very problematic because your actions are now impacting my life. And that's the problem. To me, that's the problem. Like, when your actions impact me, I have a problem with that. Like, when the late 90s, early 2000s, that whole era of down low where Black women, the number of women getting HIV and AIDS because their men were on the down low and they were having these secret relationship with men, right? Using no protection, right? And I'm your wife and I'm being trustworthy. I'm doing my thing. And you're coming home and you're giving me HIV AIDS. Right? Like that's problematic. So for me, when someone is, first of all, it speaks of your integrity, it speaks of your own values. And so when we have, like, how can we have a real trust relationship?
But Marie, I also think that that's where conversations come. Like, and I agree with you. I would not trust somebody that just goes and just has sex with random people. I wouldn't trust them. But it's also a conversation that needs to be had. If we have been exclusive with each other, we need to have that conversation. We can listen. I enjoy this situation. Now, if you feel like you want to go out and have sex with other people, please let me know.
Most people
so I can
aren't.
make a this, and that's the problem. So I just think that if you're able to be transparent, it's a totally different ball game. And yeah, I will consider you more trustworthy and maybe a more honest person if I'm able to have a conversation with you about what I'm doing.
In real life, 90% of people are not having these conversations where, like, first of all, we know couples who've been together for like years upon years have difficulty communicating. He just wants to do doggy style and he afraid to tell her. God forbid he try to tell her he wants to do something else. Like we know like that couples and people have problem communicating their actual wants and needs because you're concerned about how the other person's going to take it, if they're going to be offended, if that's going to ruin the relationship, if that's going to break things up. So you don't want to kind of rock the boat by saying, this is who I am most authentically. Do you accept me? Right? That would be ideal in a healthy relationship. People are not having these conversations.
But what I'm going to say, Marie, right? I think like this. This is just my opinion. Again, I'm looking at it from a man's perspective, right?
From a man's perspective.
Yeah, because you know, I never want to speak for women, and I don't think women could speak for men, right?
Alan, you stay speaking for women.
I do sometimes. But all right, here's what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is like, if I'm dating and I know you got high body count, and I know I approach you with no shame. I don't shame you, no guilt, no nothing.
Right.
And I say something like, and I think that's a real conversation, and I think that's why men have a hard time approaching the conversation in that way, and women retreat from it. It's like, yo, I know you be out there. Are you trying to chill? Are you trying to be with me and me only? And then she's like, yeah, I think I could do it. But on some real shit, like if something happened, just keep it real with me. As long as you honest with me, I'm going to be good with you. And then she goes to that Ohio trip and then she texts me in the morning. She's like, yo, I fucked somebody. I'm going to be upset, but I'm going to trust you for being honest. Right? No. This is not my girl. This is not my girl. This is somebody I'm fucking with.
Oh, okay.
This is not my girl. No. This is not my girl. But what I'm gonna say is, I am gonna be able to trust you.
Yeah, you'll respect.
I feel that.
Would you make her your girl?
I would. See, that's the complicated part, right? No, let's be honest. Here's the complication. That's what you want from a woman is honesty.
Right.
And if a woman could be honest about something like that is looked down on, that means she has that high quality. But then there's a counter quality that she has. She's easily accessible. And one outweighs the other. So that would be hard to it's a tough thing because honesty is a huge quality. Yo, when somebody's honest, you could trust them. You could trust them. You know that they're gonna be honest with you. They're gonna tell you the truth. They're not gonna, and that's a big quality to have. But also on the other side,
Right. For a man.
For myself speaking,
Right.
it's gonna be hard to say, hey, I'm gonna commit to you when you have other men inside of you. And you gotta remember, again, these men are getting nasty with you. If you're with me, that means you could be with a quality of men.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that you're gonna have other quality of men. So it's just too much going on for me.
Right.
But if you didn't know that she slept with that man in Ohio and she came back and y'all still good, you would make her your girl.
But I didn't know.
Okay, so that's the thing. With most of these girls, you don't know.
So that's a bad thing.
So
okay, so
I think the thing is, though, I think the stigma and shame associated with having a high body count, because I think ultimately these women don't want to be left out of being chose.
Yeah, and
ultimately, right?
And,
you
and the
want to
thing
be
is,
chose. So
if I go and I say I just slept with the man in Ohio, then here comes
you ruled out.
Bitch, you a hoe.
No, I'm not gonna call you a hoe.
You're not gonna call her.
No,
you're not, because she was honest.
You know what I think, and this is the thing that I think that men and women get wrong. I might not make you my girl, but the bond and friendship we have is something that could transcend for years. Imagine having someone in your life that's real with you and you real with them, even though you're not together. You might move on and got married. I might have moved on and got married, and something happened. You like, hey, Alan, what's up? I'm like, what up? You know, this fucking situation. There's a place in my life for you that never goes away.
Yeah, but isn't it ideal to have that relationship with your wife or the one you choose, your partner? Like,
why
ideally,
you gotta call somebody else?
Right. Like, it's cool that you have friends that, they are friends, right? But ideally, you want to be able to have that type of relationship with your wife, the one you lay your head at night with, where you have that level of trust and you both are honest with each other. You know what I'm saying? So she got ruled out. She wanted to be your wife, but she's automatically ruled out. And so again, that's why women aren't upfront, because they know, especially if they're dealing with a good guy, they're like, all right. And by the way, it's also, I think, the person's characteristics that play a role. I don't think that just because someone has slept with a lot of men that they have some kind of character flaw, right? They may have been like, this is a time in my life where I was doing that and I was enjoying myself and having a good time and I was safe about it and I did it with intention, right? Now I feel like I'm ready to settle down. I don't need to do that anymore. It does nothing for me. It's not going to fulfill me. So now I'm ready to settle down. And she settles down and she never cheats on her husband because she has that integrity and she is trustworthy. So I don't think that you should automatically rule out women with high body counts. I think for me, like I said, it's really the intention behind why do you have a high body count? Like, to me, it does matter.
Well, they say there's a thing. We try to do it on 8 at the Table, but it takes a little bit more. It's more complicated than I thought. It's called pair bonding, where they say that the more people you sleep with, the harder it is for you to have a connection.
Yeah.
So basically, the theory is, if I'm with a woman and she slept with 25 guys, right?
Right.
In opposed to if she has slept with like 3 guys, she tried to work it through with these 3 guys before the breakup. But after 15
That's
guys,
more on a spiritual level.
Yeah,
though.
no, it's not spiritual. It's just like you don't have the patience for it.
Dude,
because relationships are hard. I need to trust that you're gonna be able to work through things with me.
The reason I say that it's for me based on the pair bonding theory, because that's been refuted, and then somebody comes back and talks about pair bonding again, and then it's again refuted, especially when you're talking about like the animal kingdom and all of that. I think when you're talking about bonding with someone, because I think sex is a very intimate act. You know what I'm saying? So when you're having sex with multiple people on a constant basis, you are bonding, you are connecting. That's why you call it soul ties.
Pair bonding does not involve sex.
But pair bonding is like in the animal, like for example.
What I'm getting from here, because it says that it's a combination of social interaction and biological factors, right? So it has nothing to do with sex.
It does have to do with sex.
Well, it's a pair. Put pair bonding and sex.
Because you'll see pair bonding in different animals and how it shows out. Like, for example, when you have like penguins,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I heard they bond for life, right?
They bond for life, right?
What happened if something happens to one of them?
And you're just gonna be by yourself for the rest of your
Right, I
life.
don't know why you always got to be like, I bonded with you. It's forever. That's it, right? But then you have other animals, like for example, lions.
Yeah, a lion usually have a bunch of broads.
Right.
So does
But-
this take away
It's
like
a
your
theory.
soulmate?
No, it's first of all, it's a
Yeah, I don't
theory.
want to stay on pair
Yeah,
bonding because
but
I
no,
don't
Yeah, 'cause
understand
it-
it.
Yeah.
No, Lonnie, because the theory of pair bonding has been refuted so many times. So when you're talking about bond, that's why I said for me, I'm talking more on a spiritual level because when you have like sex intercourse, you are connecting with someone sexually. I do believe in that. So I do believe if you are having, sex with, especially if you're not using any protection and you're just raw dogging it, you're having all these connections all the
With
time with
different
these
people.
people. I do think it's gonna have an impact.
Oh, thank you, Fatty. Hi.
Oh, hey, Fatty.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Fatty says, "Hi, friends. Hope you guys are doing good and have a great show."
Thanks, Fatty. Don't forget to join us Thursday. We are live this
Yeah.
Thursday, 8 at the table. It's going to be an amazing show. We have a really dope guest coming through. So, and by the way, when you're interacting on Thursdays, you're interacting with myself and Lonnie. We're the ones kind of going back and forth with you and chatting with you. So it's a great opportunity for you to come on Thursdays, interact with us during the live, and enjoy a dope show.
And I want to say this about Kelly Boy, right? I do care why people are homeless. Like
Wait,
if I
what?
see
Kelly
somebody,
Boy.
she asked,
Oh.
y'all don't understand men. Well, do not care about the why. Would you care about why a homeless man? This is my thing. If I see somebody walking in the street and I'm driving and they're like walking in the highway, and I'll be like, I wonder why they lost their car, or why they don't have a car, or why they haven't been able to afford a car. Like I'd be thinking about these
Think
things.
about the whys.
You don't think about
Of course, like first of all, I was in the field of humanities for so long. Of course, I'm always and I'm like, by the way, I'm a former marriage and family therapist. I'm always thinking about the origin of something of a
Yeah.
behavior. So, listen, we're not men, okay? So I'm not
Yeah, no.
saying I'm saying in my opinion that in my opinion the intention matters. That's just my opinion. Now a man may say I don't care if this person was just sexually liberated and was safe. I don't want that, and that's okay. You don't have to be
Yeah.
with someone, but I think the thing is try to create an environment to get what you want. That's the part. If you remove the stigma and the shame where women feel like they can be transparent and honest, you're actually benefiting because a woman then will tell you, yeah, I've slept with this many partners. And you could be like, whether for you that's on a ethical, spiritual level, it doesn't work for you, you can be like, we wouldn't suit because that will always hang over our relationship. Why? Because the person feels safe enough to say, this is what I've done.
All right. Oh, go ahead, Lonnie.
No, go ahead.
There's always some comparison, right? Now, trust is a big thing. What is worse, right?
Mm-hmm.
A woman who is monogamous and faithful to you, cheating, lying about it. She has low body count, right? But you find out she freaking lied. Like she lied, right? Or an honest woman with a high body count. Because you heard that quote in the streets.
Mhm.
You could always trust an honest hoe.
No, I
Never
think
heard that.
Yeah, me either.
But
I never heard
I
that.
prefer someone that's honest. Like I'm like I just be saying whatever I'm feeling to whoever, and I just if you don't like it, you don't like it. I prefer someone that's honest. Like once I find out that you lied, I lose all respect and I will never trust you, because it's like, what's the reason? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why you lying?
Well, I wouldn't know why you lied. Like,
Yeah, Marie said, Marie, say it again.
Like,
You
what?
say women lie about body counts because there's not a safe place. There's a
Yeah.
shame
There's
that
a
a
shame
man's
attached to
world
it.
puts such a stigma of
Right.
shame.
But let me ask you something, Alan. How do men ask, what is your body count? Because I'd be like, dude, it's none of your business.
No, you don't. You know what happens? I
Yeah,
think
I
it's
always wanted to know how
But how do you ask
how
the
does a man
question?
be like,
We're dating. We going on a second date. How do you ask me
On a
what is your body
second
count?
date?
I'm saying what because
not a
Marie.
second date. Like more like this. It depends on the situation. Now, let's just say that we both from this. We both from the same area.
Okay.
I'd be like, yo,
But she doesn't have a reputation.
No, I know her, but I could just be like, yo, you know, don't ever feel uncomfortable if we're in a situation where you've been with somebody. Just let me know if I'm in that room.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
That's me asking you about your body count.
Got you. So like you got me shaking his hand.
Yeah, that's how I ask. You understand? I'm like, hey, listen, we didn't know each other before then, but if we're in a situation and I'm in the room and one of your exes are around, yeah, if one of your exes one of your exes are around, just make me aware of it. That's me asking,
fair.
and then her answer is gonna determine a lot.
If I say, oh, okay.
All right, then that means I can fuck with you. That means you are accepting
But that
accountability.
doesn't mean I'm gonna be honest.
No, but you say,
you're lying
oh,
from the
okay,
get.
is acknowledgement.
Okay, but the thing is, this is my thing. You don't know people until you know them.
What do you mean?
No,
It's
but you
like-
acknowledge it. You understand?
Yeah.
Because look, let me tell you something. People might not believe this. If I say to someone, "Oh, my gas tank is not working. The gas gauge is not working." Think of it that way when you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And the person's like, "Oh, let me borrow your car." She said, "Let me borrow your car." I'm like, "Yo, make sure you put $25 in there."
Mm-hmm.
She comes back and she says, "Oh yeah, I put the $25 in there."
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna find out.
Right.
Everything gets revealed because the car's just gonna stop. When you lie to somebody, it gets revealed. No matter what. If you know, and I'm not being spiritual because I know a lot of people don't believe in God. There would be no God if nobody, there are things beyond what you could do.
Mm-hmm.
You could lie, you could get away with a lie, but it will be revealed.
Eventually it'll come out. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Because unless we in the same neighborhood and we know the same people, you will never know.
Okay, Lonnie, if a woman lies about her body count, is she trustworthy?
No, well, because I would just say like it's none of your business.
Again, if a woman lies about her body
partner,
count,
like-
to her partner, you
Yeah.
mean?
if
No,
he's like,
I don't
"Yo,"
think you should lie. I don't think you should lie. Because I think that once you start lying,
Right.
you probably lied about a whole bunch of other stuff.
But again, I think that, like I said, if you have a partner that creates a space where, like let's say he went on a whole rant on his IG story about these hoes out here and how they terrible and
That's too
they
much.
just taking bodies by the count. And you like this, you had dinner tonight and it's like the 15th date and he's just like, yo, blah, 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 blah. By the way, you gonna be honest? No, because you're gonna be like,
I'll be like, damn, you was going hard in your story.
yeah, you was going hard on those
Who are
stories.
you talking about?
I was like, this hoe I knew.
but
How
you
you know
But you
her?
different. You different. And he's like, no, I'm not.
But you know what? There's some industries that you gotta
Alan
know.
just said we all hoeing out here.
Nah,
No, we
the
not.
access is easy.
No, we not.
The access is easy. But what I'm saying is like also if you're a man, you dating a bottle girl, you dating a stripper, you dating there's certain industries. Come on, bro.
No, I think there's certain industries, obviously, that people have more accessibility to each other, right? But we're not gonna put a broad stroke that just because somebody's a bottle girl or whatever, that she's automatically a hoe. No,
she's not automatically a hoe, but the probabilities are up there.
I think I think that has a higher probability than you possibly dating an accountant.
But
nonetheless, that accountant could be the biggest hoe.
those
in the
are the
world.
girls that the guys like. That's like
That's
when
true.
you go to the Instagram, the bottle girls,
Do they
the
like
girls.
them for a wife, or because guys like girls to have sex with, and then guys have girls that they're going to, like, they have an idea. I believe, I'm not speaking for men. In my conversation with men, what I've heard is men have two types of women: women that they would have sex with, and then they have the ideal of the woman that they would marry. And that ideal has all these different things that comes with it. And it is not, and that girl might be a good girl, but if she's a bottle girl, not saying all bottle girls, and she's a hoe, he's not gonna wife her.
Guys should start liking pictures of girls they will wife then.
You know
Because
what's
the problem is like you come and
So
you
it
try to talk
creates
to
an
me
image.
and I'm like, dude, but this the type of girls that you like. Why are you talking to me?
What do you mean? Expand on that.
Like that's all you like. And now we're talking about Instagram, Facebook, wherever you use. Most of the time, because a lot of times now you'll be like, let me get your Instagram before you get the person's phone number.
Okay, yeah.
Right? So you see, okay, this is the type of girl that he likes.
Okay.
So why are you talking to me when I'm not like this girl?
But what if you are? What if you have a nice body? You just not showing your
It's
body.
not about a nice body. It's about that's the type of woman that, because to me, I would assume, why are you sweating this
No,
girl,
that's the
commenting on
type of-
every picture?
That's the type of body and physical attributes he likes. Now, if you share those physical attributes, doesn't mean internally you have the same traits as this person.
But I'm not here in a bikini with a
No, I
bottle.
know,
You know what I'm
but-
saying?
But he wants you to do that only for him. He doesn't want
I
you.
don't agree.
He doesn't. That's what I'm trying to say. So when you're like, oh, but you like these types of girls, not to say that he doesn't, because you may be just as physically finds you just as physically attractive, but he doesn't want you to share that with the world. Not saying he's gonna be like, I want you to wear, clothes and cover yourself up, but he doesn't want you to be putting your butt out and your breast out.
I don't agree with that, because there's a lot of times where guys have the perfect girl and the girl that they want to marry, and they're still out here cheating with
Yeah,
the
that's
girl,
just
the
somebody-
bottle girls, and
that's a cheater.
Okay, so but the thing is, why don't you just go after those type of girls if that's what you want?
Because she's too accessible.
And also, a lot of these girls are not the type of girls you could keep. So a lot of girls that men want are girls you could experience, but keeping her ain't worth it. You understand?
Like it's a headache, or it's
it's the maintenance. She's like a rental. She's a great rental.
By the way,
it's like
this is so cringe talking about women like that.
no, but it's men and women we're talking about.
Okay.
Like for example, look.
A little cringe.
I remember 𝗲𝗚𝗚 said this a while back. 𝗲𝗚𝗚 said, and I was like, yo, that's crazy. He was like, yeah, you could get it, but can you keep it? So you see this bottle girl, you could get her, you could take her out to Del Frisco's and a couple of trips and hit, but can you maintain that over a period of time? That's a lot. That's really, really a lot. And then
that's crazy to me.
a girl sees a dude in the club popping bottles, doing his thing. She's going crazy. She gets him. They go out, but she can't keep him because he's back in the club the next night.
She might not want to keep him because
That's
everything.
what I'm saying.
Because he just borrowed everything.
Yeah, but these things are so.
Let's say he's legit.
superficial.
Let's say he's legit.
Oh, but like, see,
Well, I'm saying it depends what you like.
Keep-
This is my thing. It just depends what you like.
those are all superficial things. Those are not sustainable relationship things. Like you dating whoever based on just the surface eventually will run its course. You're talking about like whether you just trying to have a little fun. When somebody's just trying to have fun, right? You always hear in the movies or whatever, I'm not looking for anything serious right now. I'm not looking to connect with anybody right now. We could go out, we could, hang out, we could do whatever, but I'm not looking for a relationship, right? We know this happens all the time. That's fine. But when you're at the point where you're looking for a relationship or you're open to a relationship, those superficial things, like how long is it going to hold you? It's not sustainable.
It's not.
Eventually, the thrill eventually is going to run its course. Then what else do you connect on besides going to dinner and going shopping?
You don't need, that's what I'm saying. Over time, it's not sustainable. Look, and I know you guys are going to think this is kind of a little bit off the wall, but I'm not going to mention the person by name, but there's a guy who just married his wife. They just had a big wedding. Looked like it spent at least close to $1 million. And she's a porn star. But so if you could marry a porn star, somebody with a tremendous amount, with a big, high body count, it's probably.
But that's her job. That's work.
No, but what I'm.
but
but it's probably because she's honest.
But they said the porn stars don't be even enjoying it. Like it's like labor.
And then that's the thing. Does it matter if you enjoy it? Does it make a difference?
Oh, I don't know.
It to each his. To me, it's like
some dudes don't care though.
I know, but that's my thing. It's like number one, women have never cared about men's body count.
Women respect men with high body count because men gotta work for sex.
No.
You know what men probably think?
No,
because I'm gonna some of those numbers because like you hear a crazy number, you're like, yo, I'm gonna have to do an exorcist on this man's body.
I just think it's how Conduct yourself.
Yo, look,
You
you know,
affecting me
I would say
spiritually.
this. I would say this. This, and from a man's perspective, I'm gonna say what men probably think. Not all men. Now you got like a 40, 50 body count
As a man,
as a woman,
Mhm.
and I'm doing this in a safe space, no judgment. But my subconscious is asking myself, right? You couldn't keep 1 out of 50.
oh,
Now I'm number 51.
Wait, but I sometimes you gotta
That's
understand.
kind of tough.
maybe she wasn't trying.
Well, what did
to.
you
I
mean?
don't
What if you don't
know.
want to keep him? No, let me tell you. When we
No,
had
that's a lot,
that
though.
episode
Lottie,
with
1 out of 50.
That's a
when
lot.
we had that episode with
50?
what's her name, the girl with the body count, and I was there, and people was like,
Judgment.
Pearly.
early, and we were talking about high body count, and somebody said, "Oh, 50," and everybody in the comments was like, "Lonnie got a 50 body count. Lonnie got a 50." Listen, I was just like, "Okay, what you want me to do?" It's not true.
Yeah,
But-
say that. Make sure you
No,
confirm.
it's not true. But to I don't care. It's like to each his own, right?
Yeah, but look, let's definitely say it's not true.
It wasn't
because,
true.
You know what I mean?
That was the conversation we were having.
Yeah, well, you
But
were
a
having
lot of
you were
people came in the
defending.
comments like
I think
damn.
you were defending a woman's right to choose to have sex.
Yeah.
And this is the other part. Men are like, well, are you willing to deal with the consequences? Some women are, and whatever that looks like. She's not. If the consequences, you're not gonna choose her. She's probably okay with it because you're not her person.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the whole argument that they'll be like, are you really the consequence? All right, dude, chill. That's not your person. She'll find somebody else.
But that's the thing, right?
And
But
when you
everybody, all right, let's say, for example, you guys are executives, right? Let's just say someone came to apply for a job. When that person came, their resume looks really good,
Right.
like really, really good. And you're like, I could see us building something here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just check the last few jobs you had. Oh, yeah, in the last 10 years, I had 31 jobs.
Right.
What does that
never
mean?
great as an employer.
That's a lot of jobs.
Right.
Right,
No,
now-
you're always gonna. be
That's how men
concerned.
look at it. Damn, you've been with
Okay.
31 people in
Because
10 years?
that shows your inability to commit.
Yes.
That's
31 people in 10 years.
right. So,
So you're like,
But
right.
guess what? I'm able to deliver. So what do you say if this
but
person?
you're not going to stay with me.
Right. So that's
So
yeah,
how
I,
can
know.
I trust you?
So in the job, I think okay, I get it. Like okay,
Forget about
but
the
what
job.
if I deliver what needs to be delivered and then I move on? Because to me, I've
I'm-
already done
I'm
this
looking
job.
for commitment.
But
You've been
that's
with
what he's
31
saying.
people in
No,
10
I get it.
years.
But that's what you're
31
looking
people.
for. Everyone doesn't want to be in a marriage. Everyone doesn't want to be in a committed relationship with one person. Everyone. So my thing is, you have to know what it is that you want in life and relationships,
Now, what if
right?
she like you different?
That's what I'm trying to say. See, Lonnie, here's the thing, right? Now, if you came to me, you like 31 people in 10 years, right? And I'm like, all right, 31 people. You've been with 31 people in 10 years. What do you want from me? I want to be with you in a real relationship. I
Yeah.
want to be in a committed relationship with you.
Okay.
I want us to be together forever. So I'm going to be like, you want me to be together forever with you, but in 10 years, you couldn't get it from 31 people? What's your judgment like?
Mm. Look, it's tough business. Listen, that's
I
the
don't
thing.
know. I think
I think, like I said, like, look, you got to be conscious of what you're doing at some point, right? Like we were speaking earlier in the show, like if you're out here just busting it open because you're trying to fill a void, you got to figure it out, like, and try to go seek some therapy and try to figure out why you're using sex for validation with men or women or whatever. Now, if you're out here and you're just wanting to have sex because you're very, like I said, liberated, okay. Again, be conscious of if I'm going to do this, this might be the outcome.
mhm.
It's just like women who like place a lot of emphasis on their careers. Like they spend their 20s, 30s, and by the time they're 39, right, they're like, okay, I'm in a space to have children. And then they run into a lot of challenges. You got to be conscious that, okay, I committed my 20s and 30s to my career and I might not be able to have, children. I might not be able to have the family that I wanted. Like everything has a consequence.
That's what I'm trying to say. So, like, I've never seen later on, like, I knew women when they were in their 20s that was having a ball. And we asked this question on 8 at the table, and I said, today, if you could take back some of those bodies, how many would you take? 9 out of 10 women said probably 100% of them.
Wow.
Oh, that's
Well, I don't know. But and by the
Right?
way,
But even no. This is because Holiday was here. Holiday brought
I remember.
Holiday brought some girls here.
Yeah.
And I asked them, I said, ladies, if y'all could take some of the bodies back
They would take
on
it
your
back.
belt, some of the bodies, if y'all could take it back, how many would you take? I think Holiday said, I'll take back 100%. Because I was just giving myself away.
Yeah.
Some of the girls were like, well, I probably take back about 50%. Some of the other ones, I didn't hear no girl said, I'm so proud of all the bodies I got.
Right, but okay.
And men too. Men will be like, yo, you'll take some of the bodies back.
Women could be out here having a good time. It don't mean you have to be having sex. Like, you could be having a ball in your 20s. It doesn't always mean, like, there are people that value sex, that value that act. It's not just something that they just give to anyone and anyone just because you showed me some attention or bought me a $6 drink. Like, it doesn't work that way. I know there's this whole narrative that everybody's loosey-goosey out here. And I understand with the Gen X, like, you know, women are like, oh, you listen to the rap music, I'm gonna bust it open. I get it. But there are women out here, not because they're good girls. It has nothing to do with being a good girl. It just has to be with your values.
Well, you know, nowadays people are not even having sex no more. So
Did y'all hear that study?
no, I read it. It's people are not.
50% of guys under 25 are not having sex.
So it's just like it doesn't even
Why,
matter.
it's too expensive
I'm gonna
No,
play it for
they-
you guys real quick.
They be in the basement playing video games.
with their right hand. Oh, okay.
No, they don't even do that.
Like they're becoming just completely.
But let me read this while Alan is looking for that because this is a study that was done by Superdrug. They found that in men and women, the ideal body count is around 7.5. Anything above 14 and 15 is too many, and anything below 2 or 3 was too low.
2 or 3 is too low.
Yeah. And let me see if they have.
I think the average body count for a woman by the time she's 35 is about 15 to 20.
I don't know.
This says I
That
know.
feels like a lot. Is this woman in any relationship at this point?
No, I'm talking about by the time she's 35, the average woman in 2023, by the time she's 35, slept with about 15 guys.
We need to do an anonymous survey because
They're
like,
not going to tell you the truth.
I just said anonymous.
Why is that?
In an anonymous.
saying
Women
this is-
even lying that.
Why? Why are you lying? It's anonymous.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Like, there's no point. Ooh, they're gonna trace
Who's
it.
lying?
No,
They're gonna
No,
know
they're
my
not lying.
name.
Yeah. Yo, women will even lie in that.
Funny.
A
They're
woman
gonna-
to
they're
take her
gonna trace
bodies
my
to the
IP
grave,
address.
right? A woman,
Yeah.
look, 8 at the table doing the casting. We passing out. Yo, just tell us your body count. Nobody's gonna know who it is. They're gonna be like, they're gonna know because they're looking at me right now. They're gonna know my handwriting.
Bro.
Women will lie in that because they don't want to put 107.
107.
Number one, now
No
I
judgment,
know
though.
this
Do
is
what
a
you
lie
do.
right here.
Do you
So
what
it's
you do.
saying, wait, it's saying
No judgment zone.
one study done in 2014, so this is 2014, a long time ago, by the Austin Institute found that the average number of partners for straight folks is between 4 and 6.
That's cap.
I don't believe
Well,
that.
That's cap.
14.
I don't
That's cap.
believe that. But wait, it says for lesbian, the number is in the same range. But for gay men, the number is higher, it's between 16 and 20.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why.
That's
I'm
a
gonna
lot.
tell you another thing with
That's
that.
the average.
Here's why we can't get the truth. Also, here's the thing that women do.
I think an anonymous survey.
Women naturally don't count some bodies, and every woman will tell you that.
Why don't they count? Because of the
Yeah,
whole
they're like, it
oral
don't
thing?
count. That one don't count. No,
Is
they'll
it-
be like, that don't count. Because I'll be like, how many people you been with, right? If from 8 at the table perspective. Now I'm
Mhm.
doing this from a producer's perspective. She's like, I've been with like 12 guys. I'm like, oh, 12. Wow. Da, 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 da. And then I continue the conversation. She was like, no, those 4 don't count. I'd be like, why? Oh, because I was on a vacation. Vacation sex don't count. Oh, I didn't come, so it don't count.
Girl, bye.
So women will delete, like, that's why they say when a woman tells you her body count, always multiply it by 2.
Okay. First of all, I feel like they're just trying to be a little cheeky and clever. If he penetrated you and he came, it counts. Okay? Like it doesn't not count just because it wasn't good for you. That's not how it works.
Yeah. Listen, if we got to a point, it's like too much. We don't even care.
We need to care on 8 at the table
No,
because the result is bad.
No,
See,
we don't need to care. We need to give people the information
but
to
the
let them know
outcome
what
is bad,
people.
But
right?
I do think
Like-
I do think because listen, the STI and STD rates out here are out of control. I do think that conversation needs to be had.
Yes.
I'm not telling you what to do with yourself and your body, but what I'm saying is if you're going to be out here and you're just going to be having sex, just know that you better do it safe or be prepared to deal with the consequences. And when there's consequences, don't put that on somebody else. Don't
Yeah,
bring it home to your partner,
yeah.
because
No.
that's problematic.
All right, look at this way, right? Think about what I'm about to say on this. As a young man, when I was getting out of high school, when I was in high school, when I was getting out of high school, you know, you mess with a bunch of girls. Bruh, you didn't know if you was gonna hit because girls know how to say no. She'd be like, nah, I'm not ready. And you like, oh, leave it alone. There's always something, right? Then you got in your 20s. You meet this girl. You go out a couple of times. You like, you know you're gonna work all night for this shit. You've been with her for like 3-4 weeks. All night, y'all kissing. All night, y'all kissing. You're trying to, she's like, nah, boom, you leave it alone. It's such work because women are pursued and they're usually like, yo, take the time or whatever. So for a man to be like, damn, he could just unbutton your pants that easy.
I don't know why.
I don't know why in high school I couldn't come out. I don't know how you all night with anybody.
The girls that could come out.
Then that's how you know they have a high because they was outside.
They've been
How
outside
your
since-
parents let you come outside?
No, I'm talking about even after high school. I met this girl when I was right after high school at the mall. I went to a crib, worked it. Nothing.
But-
went back to her crib, trying to work. Nothing. She made me go through a process. And
don't think it's like that anymore.
even though I'm talking about I went through a process. But the thing is that, and I didn't sleep with her. I ended up not hitting it because the third time I was like, yo, this girl's just too much work. I kept it moving, right? But the fact is, a woman like that I could respect.
Right.
Because I'm not added to her body count.
Right.
I'm not saying that she respects herself, but she at least has an understanding to be like, yo, you're chasing a prize. At least make me work for it.
Yeah, but like Rico said, I don't think it's like that anymore. I think some of the women right now will just be like, all right, let's do this. All right, and then be done, put their pants
Because
up.
guys not out here having, they not want to do it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
When you
is,
finally gets one of them outside, you'll be like,
but over time, it'd be the same women that be like, damn, I want my bodies back.
Yeah, you're dealing with some bad choices. Look, when you're a person growing up, you're going to make bad choices. That's going to happen. But I think it's important, especially when you're talking about sex, right? Like, one, the preoccupation with sex. Like, why are you having sex? Like, why? Why are you doing it? Like, why? Like, why do you want to have
it's
sex?
not even why are you sleeping with multiple people for no reason at all?
Right.
No satisfaction.
Right. Like, what are you
Just
trying to
for
obtain?
the other person to come inside of you and do whatever they want to do with you. Why are you doing those things?
I'm just saying, like, what are you trying to obtain? Right? Like, is it just for the pleasure of it? Like, I hear like, oh, I just want to less than that. I don't know why I hate
but
when women
I
say
think
that.
but I think that a lot of young women don't even know how to for that to, like.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I hate when they say, I'm just trying to get this nut. Shut up. You know what I mean?
But
Like,
this is the same thing. I saw Bobby Smurder on the Pivot, and he was like, he's not really rapping as much. He's not doing as much. He said, yo, the times are so crazy. He says, I'm really from that world. I'm from that life where we go bow bow. It means bow bow. He's like, now you got girls like, I'm gonna put the tech on you. And he's like, you're a girl. Like, you pulling text now, and you doing
Some girls do be out here.
But what I'm trying to say is, like, it's like Jada said this, and I really appreciate it. Jada says everybody has become the same because of social media.
Right. I do agree on
Everybody
that.
swears they're different, but everybody has become the same.
Yeah.
So women are now told, hey, fuck, bust your nut, keep it moving.
Right.
But no one's telling them you're going to feel empty. You're going to feel not so good about yourself.
Gotta be healthy.
Over time, it's going to have a mental weigh down on you over time.
It's gonna catch up.
Yeah, because obviously you're watching people that are couples and liking couples goals, and you're looking at this couple on Instagram. And you're like, oh, that's what I want. but you over here trying to practice a different behavior because maybe you can't get what you want. So through that time, you just letting niggas knock you down, knock you down, knock you down, knock you down.
I don't think that people sometimes have the foresight to understand that what's going to happen. I think sometimes people are living in the moment and not thinking about the future. You're not thinking about, if you're 21 and you out here just, doing your thing and going, and you're just out here, you're not necessarily thinking, how am I going to feel when I'm 35? Like, a lot of 21-year-olds are not thinking about how I'm going to feel about my choices right now when I'm 35 years old, because you're so much living in the moment. And I think that's part of the problem.
So you think that parents should have more conversations with their kids about, okay, listen, when I was 21, I was out here and now I'm here and I'm single.
Yeah.
Because my body count was high. I was in my whole phase.
Well, I don't know.
No, I don't think that's what it is.
I'm saying, I think you gotta be honest, even with the kids.
I do, but I do think you have to provide guidance to your children. Like, yeah, look, you can be like, I made a lot of mistakes. And my role as your parent is to hopefully prevent you from repeating the mistakes that I made by instilling you with these certain values, right? I can guide you. So you think it's not just saying
No,
it.
I don't think it's a parent thing, Lonnie. I'm gonna tell you what I think it is. And if you're listening to Eight at the Table, no, I'm not talking about.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Lonnie. What it is girls need to understand you're gonna get your heart broken, and you gotta process that pain. You're gonna get rejected. Some dude may sleep with you and play you.
Yeah.
Your go-to can't be like, fuck these dudes. I'm gonna do what I want to do. Basically,
you think
there's a lot of acting out.
Oh, okay.
And in that acting out, it's almost like when a kid, parents get divorced or loses, they act out, right? They start being in the streets. They start doing all these things. So what happened, I think, in this generation of women is like, women are quick to act out and try to be like men or act like men because men are creating hurt to them.
Right.
You're hurting me. You're rejecting me. You're not approaching me. You're not doing these things for me. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to act like you and behave like I don't care.
Right. Yeah.
And women are starting to behave like they don't care. And there's a consequence to that.
Do you think they actually care? They
truly care. Women are naturally emotional beings.
I'm just asking you. You speak with a lot of passion. I'm just saying some of these women say it with a lot of emphasis that they genuinely, for them, don't care. Now, will that catch up to them? You know how you numb yourself for a long period of time, and a lot of people can do that. You numb yourself, so you out here living, but eventually it catches up, and it's like a floodgate of emotions. And sometimes some people can't even handle that. Like, you can't handle when it catches up because you've numbed yourself for such a long time. You actually haven't dealt with your feelings. You haven't dealt with if there are traumas, if there are abandonment issues, if there are rejection issues. You've never dealt with them. So you've been numbing yourself. Now it catches up. What do you do now? But how do you convey to someone who is very young that how you're moving is not going to benefit you in the future?
Well, I did what Alan, I told my daughter, I was like, listen, guys just want to have sex with you. So, fuck these niggas.
Wow. Not the second part.
I didn't say that. But, I kind of said that. And I'm kind of like, now my daughter wants to be with one person only for the rest of her life.
Right.
But it's like,
And
I think
you
it's a
want
double.
her to date a little bit.
And I want her to date and meet different people because maybe that's not who, you know what I'm saying? So that's maybe it's a double-edged sword, right?
It's not. I think it's a balance that you have to have. And I think that's what happens. I think we go from one extreme to another, right? We don't want our daughters to be out here. So we go to the extreme that men only want to use you for sex. They're terrible. Don't do that. And that's actually not true. Like, we can't.
Some of them.
Of course, you're always gonna have people, right? So you want to have an honest conversation.
In high school, look at Alan.
No, but you see the girls that were like, no, because you want to be like, what you want your daughters and sons to have is good judgment.
But even if you come right here to 2023, in 2023, with all these so-called changes that have changed, they said change, right?
What happened?
Men till today, if they hear a girl ain't easy to fuck, automatically she get this high respect stamp on her. Be like, yo, you can't hit that shit easy.
I do agree with that.
She gets an automatic. Like, I'm talking about not her saying it, in the streets.
Yeah.
Her reputation. It's like, nah, she ain't getting that shit up like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Bro,
you
you
know,
gonna work for that thing.
I
there are men who won't date a woman who doesn't have a quote unquote clean reputation.
Yeah. And I agree with that. And I think that, and I'll tell you guys the story. When my daughter was in high school, you know, she was a junior in high school, and this boy tried to kiss her, and she was like, oh my God. Because I told her, if you have sex before you graduate, you're not getting a car. So she was she was holding tight, yo. So, you know, I was like, listen, by the time you are a senior and all these girls I ran through, you're gonna be the prize girl. That's what Lori Harvey said. You are always the
Not
prize.
Lori Harvey.
She wasn't. She didn't mean it in that. No, she said you are the prize. There's a little thing that you are the prize. Is an audio for Marie. You don't be hearing the audio.
I heard about that. You are the prize. She said that.
Okay,
her
so I said
father,
when
Steve
you-
Harvey said she's the prize.
Okay,
Well,
yeah.
a lot of people
Well,
won that prize.
My thing was, by the time you a senior and all these girls ran through, everybody having sex, you gonna be the prize when you leave on vacation, summertime. Everybody gonna want to be your boyfriend.
I think it's valuing yourself.
Yeah, so that worked a little bit.
Right. You said that
on,
worked.
on the last note, because we got listen
work?
on the last note, and I mean this, audience, YouTube. I 100% mean this in a no judgment zone.
He about to
right?
say some foolishness.
From producing this show in 5 years, I've spoken to a lot of people. I've spoken to a lot of women, and I've seen women talk very liberal and very this and very that. I haven't seen it as a success story yet, because as time passed, the women usually like, well, I kind of want this. Yeah, I kind of want that instead. And
Yeah.
do you understand what I'm saying? But at that time, like Marie said, you sound so convincing. The conviction is so real, and that conviction is contagious.
Right.
So when a woman is convincing, now she got these other young girls
She's
following
convincing
that
others, yeah.
path, and they're believing that path. Because think about that, right? Lonnie could be right here and says, yo, I don't care about no body count. But Lonnie says something different to her daughter.
Yeah, because
Is this true?
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Body count don't matter. But Lonnie says something different to her daughter.
yes.
So,
But-
Hold on, Lonnie. He got you now.
No, I'm saying because I don't care about other people, but when it relates to me, you know what I'm
So
saying?
It's still something important.
It's important to, like, what I want. I don't want her to experience the same things that I did. I don't want her to go through certain things because, and it does go back to your parents. You have to teach your kids, like, listen, when you are 35, this is going to happen. People going to talk about you. People going to be like, you a hoe, you this and you that if you do these things. But if you don't, by that time, you can be in a successful relationship. You could be married with 2 kids, everything. You could have whatever you want.
Right.
So I think that it does go back to the parents. You have to have the different conversations with your kids
No, the
to
parents
see
are
what it is.
important.
So yeah, when it relates to me, now when I'm dating somebody and let's say if I was a man and the girl tell me, oh, I have 50 men in the last 2 years and I'm out here, and I will be like, I'm going to pass. And I will go to the next person because it relates to me. But to other people, if that's what you're doing and that's what you think works for you, then listen, good. And I feel like also when I'm having conversations with other family members, you know what I'm saying, and they out here doing what they doing, I could tell you 1 or 2 times, listen, that's not work. It's going to work out. It's not going to work out, and it's not a good thing. And I will tell you 1 time. Now, after I tell you 1 time, I don't care. Sleep with 500 men.
But
That's
you see,
your business.
But Lonnie, you see what I'm trying to say? It's like this. If I'm talking to somebody who's way younger than me, and this person is like, yeah, I'm in school. I'm about to go get my master's degree. But between my master's degree, I'm doing an internship in DC. I know how this shit gonna work out for you, bro.
Right.
We all know how this is gonna play out. As long as you stay on this path, this is how it's gonna play out. Now, take the reverse. You meet someone like, nah, I'm out here in these streets, gang, yo, I'm about to start moving this weight. I know how this is gonna play out for you.
Right.
So it's like we really are not being honest when we try to pretend like we don't have enough data on how body count works out.
Right.
We have the data. We know the data of how it's gonna play out. Because when women that have a little bit more experience talk to younger women, they always tell them, don't give your thing away too easy.
Right. Like,
But
I think it's important. Okay, here's the thing that I'm going to say before, I think it is important for us to not act like having sex is not something of value. Again, it's not something frivolous that you can just give to anybody. And if you are doing that, there is a greater problem, there's a greater issue. I think the second part, though, is for all of us collectively, not just men, but women too, to create an environment where we can have these open and honest conversations with
Mhm.
these young girls so we can dispel some of that nonsense that they've learned. We're not even in a space where we can have a conversation because women feel like they're going to be judged and stigmatized. So if we create that space, what will happen is a whole bunch of honest conversations that's going to happen where, oh, like, no, I'm trying to be out here. But why are you trying to be out here? Da, 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 da. And if you get to the root of it is because somebody broke your heart, somebody hurt you, that doesn't mean you fulfill that need through your vagina. It's never going to be fulfilled. So let
Mm-mm.
me tell you what you need to do is you need to do the work. That starts with creating a safe space.
Yes.
That's on period.
And I think that it's important.
Go ahead,
There
Lonnie.
is a lot of like information, and you see when ate at the table, we're
Facts.
talking here, and we're just having conversations about things that maybe you can't go to your parents and have this conversation and talk about body count, and maybe you out here doing the most, but now there's like a lot of information.
Yeah.
The internet is all over. You can ask a question. What is a high body count? And you already at 5.
Like,
It
what might
says
be the
7.5.
consequences?
That means you need to stop and you need to reevaluate yourself and figure out what you're
Right.
trying to do. So I think that I just think that it's so much information. You need to figure out what it is that you want to do, research, do whatever it is, and figure it out.
Yeah.
And don't be out here hoeing, going from state to state, just giving it up.
Guys, big shout out for tuning in. We'll be back on Tuesday. We'll see you guys next
Next
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Next Tuesday we'll be back, but we'll be here Thursday. And like I said, you guys can interact with Lonnie and myself. We're kind of behind the scenes on Thursday.
Yep.
Join us at 9-ish for 8 at the Table Live. We have a special guest coming through, so you don't want to miss it. So
Yep.
Big shout out to Wayne Morrison. He
Wayne
said,
just
tell the
came
young
up.
girls, treasure your treasure.
Yep, and we've been seeing you on
Facts.
Thursday, Wayne. Thank you
So
for
we'll see you
joining.
guys Thursday. Lonnie, parting words?
Peace out, guys. Stop being a hoe.
see you guys Thursday.